ఈ మూడు గుర్రాలు క్రమబద్ధంగా పనిచేసినప్పుడే అసలైన రిపబ్లిక్. దేనికి భయం? దేనికి భయం?
And also, if you all do not cooperate when Mr. Pavan Kalyan is speaking, we will have to cancel the question and answer round. So please cooperate, let him speak, and we will give you a chance to ask him questions. So please, everyone, cooperate. We are all want the same thing over here, okay? All right. So next up, we have Megan Fallon. Megan is an entrepreneur. Megan is an entrepreneur, a designer, and a passionate mountaineer. Bringing these diverse talents together as the CEO of Barefoot College International, she exemplifies exceptional vision and commitment to social leadership while advocating for strong professional practices within a social innovation context. Her commitment to empowering illiterate and semi-illiterate rural women across the developing world through a mastery of technology, unlocking rural girls' creativity and confidence while leveraging their human potential embodied in poorer rural communities is an inspiring journey of risk-taking and respect. In her current role at Barefoot College, she leads an award-winning international social enterprise that has, for 43 years, modeled itself on the lifestyle and work style of Mahatma Gandhi. So presenting to you, Megan Fallon.
Namaste, everybody. Really honored to be here. Okay, we're going to go without the clicker. I'm not going to talk about my personal journey because the work for me is my passion, and I think it speaks very much to why I do this. I think that'll be evident to you. I thought I'd share a little bit about the kind of work that we do at Barefoot College. Barefoot College is an extraordinary place. Imagine somewhere where words like social justice, inclusion, diversity, they're not words, they're a way of life. They've been a way of life there since 1972, and we're on our third generation of people living and working for Barefoot College. It is based on, sorry, I know that they need to move a slide. It's based on the lifestyle and work style of Mahatma Gandhi, and central to that are two beliefs. The first one is, can you please change the slide? To live simply so that others may simply live. And this attitude, this philosophy of always asking ourselves what we can do without is very much at the heart of how we operate. And the second one is Gandhi believed very strongly in honoring the wisdom, skills, and knowledge that existed in poor rural communities. So our work is based on working with the poorest of the poor, living on less than $1.25 a day, not only in India, but now across the global south. Okay, gotta move faster, I'm gonna exceed my time. Nope, that way. Awesome. Much easier. So we work in 5 program areas. We work on water, we work on renewable energy, we work on education, non-formal education, and we work on livelihood and enterprise development. We also work on advocacy, and that takes 2 forms. One, we certainly work on advocacy for rights-based information and rights-based programs in India to disseminate that knowledge to the poor, but also very much on advocacy with governments to change policy. We are a true social enterprise in the sense that we are working on what I call triple bottom line delivery. Yes, we deliver programs. More importantly, we use human-centric design to look at the social norms, barriers, and systems that have created inequality in the first place. And we very consciously design around those. And lastly, we work on systemic and long-term policy change so that the things that we're doing are institutionalized in government budgets and government policies so that these kinds of inequalities can actually be eradicated. The campus is set in rural Rajasthan, between Jaipur and Ajmer, and we have more than 260 people living on the main campus in Rajasthan. It's fully solar electrified. We exist on rainwater harvesting, and it has been solar electrified since 1998, which is pretty exceptional. It is, as far as I know, the only college in the world built by and for the rural poor. So you see me speaking to you today, but I am not Barefoot College. Barefoot College was built by a beautiful collaboration between urban educated youth and youth in rural areas. And this magic of bringing these two groups together is, I think, what has sustained it through all these years, and what we now work very hard to exemplify. So we redefined professionalism. We like to talk about professionals as being confident, competent, and having belief. Having a certificate doesn't make you a professional in our eyes. We started in education, but non-formal education, and in fact trying to capture all of the children in rural areas who do not attend state school for a variety of reasons. Most importantly, they're needed to help families subsist in their way of life. It's not to be confused with child labor, but it takes everyone in a family to survive in rural India still today. So primarily these are girls. More than 80% of the girls who attend this program come from families where their brothers most probably do go to school, but they in fact do not. They herd goats, in fact, in many cases, or work in fields from 6:30 in the morning until 5:30 in the evening. And then they go home, do their chores, and come to our solar-powered night schools. The curriculum is a big change from what you find in the government schools. First of all, the teachers are from the community. They're non-formally trained teachers, and they are capacity built by us to be able to deliver a place-based, issue-based, and civil society development curriculum. This means that mathematics lessons are based on crop rotation and crop yield. We figured out early on that if you can give girls fantastic skills in practical knowledge, their value at home goes up dramatically. Fathers are far less likely to see them as a marriageable financial commodity, and much more likely to want to keep them around at home. What happens is we run a children's parliament, so we have a prime minister, we have a minister of education, minister of water, and incredibly, in 35 years, there's never been a boy prime minister. We've only ever had girl prime ministers. It is a thoroughly engaged and interactive program that is really extraordinary and unique in the fact that children are really encouraged to be 100% who they are and to participate fully in their own learning. We'll come back to why that's important in a minute. Our exploration of solar energy started very early on, and this is a remarkable program now which has gone global. And so I'll talk about this just for a minute. We work in solar-powered reverse osmosis desalination of water because water is one of our primary areas of work. More importantly, we also started working on solar cooking and then solar home lighting. We began looking at light as a human right, not a luxury item that you ought to be able to be rich to afford. Access to clean light is a human right, and it enables everything that we would like to see positively coming out of the developing world. So for 1.8 billion people, this is light. And for many million children, this is how they study at night. This is a young boy in Belize, and then they throw the batteries in the water source outside the door when they're done. But it's a bit tough to learn to read and to really interact and be able to do livelihood or be able to have a healthy environment. The number one killer of women in the developing world is the inhalation of black smoke coming off of bad kerosene, which is what you see in this picture. And whole families use that for light at night. So we'd like to change that picture. We think this is a much more holistically healthy picture for children to learn with good quality light and also whole households illuminated. In 2010, we started training women and men to be solar engineers. We started looking at why can't citizens be empowered with technology and technology knowledge to be able to serve their own basic needs. And what came out of that was a couple of extraordinary lessons. The first one is we learned very quickly on men are untrainable. They're restless, they're mobile,